How's it going? This is Odd.
It's Red here.
And Mal.
And you're about to listen to our podcast. I'm just going to give you a heads up. Probably not the greatest for having your kids around.
Nope.
We are a 18-plus podcast, and we would appreciate if you would take that into consideration, as we honestly have horrible mouths. And obviously,
influences will ruin your life.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, by what our name is, we are the Ganja people.
And I was smoking during this intro.
Hey, I'm Odd.
I'm Red.
And I'm Mal.
And we are the Ganja people.
You could say we're peachy.
Yeah, with
As
our
well.
peach rings.
Freaking deliciousness.
Right? What's going on, guys?
Hey.
How has it been? I don't even know what that was. I'm like, has it been then?
Well, I thought you said high as I've been, and I'm like, what?
Guys, we've been here for 30 seconds and Red's already losing it.
Oh,
I haven't
man.
been high all day, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, we haven't
Wow.
smoked yet today.
Well, we're kind of low, and I'm like, let's make it out until Friday.
It doesn't help that I bought what was left of what my guy had.
Downstairs?
And then, downstairs guy. And then the DJ, Mr. DJ, we'll call him, has been out of town for God knows how long, because I've been trying to get a hold of him since Monday.
He had Monday off work.
Maybe it was Tuesday I started,
Maybe.
because
I come into the store and got him and Jay a sub.
Miss DJ.
Ew. I have bugs biting me. It's bullshit. Yeah. Anyways, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys had a good week. I know ours has been
Crazy and long.
very interesting and shitty with my work.
it has been a very long week.
I worked a couple of doubles this week.
Oof.
Yeah, open and close.
That sucks.
Yeah, poo-poo.
Much poo-poo.
Well, 8 o'clock. When we close at 9, if that,
Close enough.
That's open
7 o'clock
close.
to 8 o'clock,
That's open to close.
Fucking poo-poo. But anyways, there's no sense in bitching about life because, let's be honest, it's life. It's always gonna be a bitch.
Life's a bitch and then you die.
You do.
Life.
I had a music reference for this, but I can't think of anything right now.
So, we've actually been listening to the Coyotes all week. They've been
Yeah.
loud as shit. I swear to God, they've been on the corner of the block,
They
which
were.
is like 100 meters from our house. Not
Was it
even.
last night we were listening to him right there, or was it
No.
the night before?
2 nights ago. Last night you did after you're done with your tattoo.
Oh, you're
said.
right.
Because you said that the owls
Yeah.
and the coyotes were fighting.
Dude, there was owls up here losing their fucking minds, and then there was coyotes over here losing their damn minds all at the same time, and I'm sitting here going, well, guess my dogs aren't going outside for the night.
Yeah, that would make sense.
On Monday night, up the road, their fire alarm went off.
Oh.
So that always gets coyotes going.
Right.
So then their alarm went off. And you could hear both of them from our house. Like,
Yeah.
Sparta's went off. So, like,
Oh.
yeah. So, like, then there was coyotes over here, and then they were over here. And I'm like, that's got to be a different set. There's no way they hauled dick in 5 minutes from back here all the way to the other side of the ridge. And all the way, like, I don't know. It was loud as shit.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It was really neat.
Loud as shit. Like, eerie. A little eerie, because it's just, they were so close
They were
that it was
right
eerie.
here. They were
And
right
then,
in
of
the
course,
field.
we have all the rabbits and bullshit in our yard. So you can hear shit moving, you're like,
Yeah.
like, it's just kind of creepy. You're like, no, I don't
Especially
like
because,
this.
like, he was sitting here, so his back is to those noises, so he's like...
And I'm constantly hearing stuff, and of course I was baked, so
Right.
I'm like, man, there's something out in the yard, I can hear it. And she's like, they won't come on the porch. I'm like, I'm not worried about it. I'm just like, man, it's just
I'm
fucking
not
creepy.
worried about it, but if I want
fucking
to go into
creepy.
the dark, I'm going to
Well,
disappear.
it wouldn't surprise me to hear, like, a rabbit squealing around here. We have so many of them.
Right.
And it wouldn't be
I have a
surprising
lot
if,
of-
like, a coyote caught one.
Yeah, I have a lot of yard pets. Woodchucks, bunnies. Right now, I have, like, bunnies that would fit in your hand. They're so little. They're so fucking cute.
You didn't announce it.
And I have a deer that's living in our backyard
Only because
now.
we're balls deep into this animal conversation.
Well, you've been waiting for
I've
a
been
minute.
waiting.
I know you have.
I've
And
been
I'm like, I'm
sitting here
sorry, but I'm
holding
already in this conversation.
And I'm like, okay. I'm just like...
Oh, listen, I have a pretty deer, and she lives in my backyard now.
She was like 10 feet away one day,
Scared
sitting
the
out in the
shit
front
out of
yard.
I turned and I jumped, and then she jumped, and we scared the shit out of each other because she didn't know I was here.
Guess who's a slacker?
Why?
I don't have a lighter. I forgot mine.
I have two. Three.
So,
Three. Something.
we're smoking out of the Trip Pals. These are the pipes that tend to show up when we go on our nice long trips to Ridgeway and that.
Yeah. Them's his pocket
pipes.
His pocket pipes. This one's, you call this one the NATO, right? It's like the center's curly. Like,
I know.
yeah, you probably want that. Huh? I'm sorry.
Swirl.
Well, you probably need it now.
No, he can hold on.
But
to
I
mine.
just cleaned. Damn. I remember the last time that was on the show. That wasn't clean.
You were cleaning it while we were doing the show.
Yes.
Because you were sitting there fucking around with it.
It's cleaner. As I sat
I saw
home.
you could see through the center of it, yeah.
Yeah. It's much cleaner. I sat there and I was just picking at it with a toothpick and all that, and it was just big ass thick chunks of resin coming right out. I'm like,
I saved that shit because when we are broke and have nothing, then we have resin balls.
It tastes so bad, though.
It's
oh,
so
good
bad.
God.
But I've been in those type moments where you just...
Hey, we can get off like a whole week off of just resin, okay? I mean, you've seen our pipes.
Right.
You could probably get off on 2 days if you actually cleaned our grinder completely. Like, just all the bullshit off of the sides of it.
The
and stuff.
first time I cleaned the downstem on my first bong, I had a bowl, just a little bowl, cereal bowl. And I sat there and scraped at it. I fucking filled that thing about a quarter of the way with just resin because that's how long it took me to finally clean out that motherfucker.
I can't imagine cleaning out our pipes that we've had. Like our old ones that live in the bag.
Oh, man.
Because we've never cleaned them.
Like, cleaned them. Never cleaned them.
No. Like, we unclog them.
But they're so
Like,
much
we'll
more
be here and
smooth
there,
when
but-
they're dirty. They really are.
More or less. When they start clogging is more when they should be starting to get cleaned. Or at least heavily picked at where...
We pick at them. But...
Yeah. Like the necks and, joints and carbs and all that. Sometimes...
We do those probably like once every 2 months-ish.
But another thing that you don't think about is there's buildup of smoke and resin right here. So you're going to have to take like a rock, or not a rock, but take like a pick at it, and you'll get a rock of resin in there. And you'll sit there and you'll shake your pipe and you'll hear it rattling around and you're like, I want
Do you know what
that.
we do?
You just break it up.
No, we just hit it out the carb hole. Or we just hit it straight out and just hit hit it really hard, like at a bob.
Yeah.
You know how he has that U-joint? That fucker's almost clogged half the time.
Oh, yeah.
So once
It's
we
going to be, unless
when
you
we
have an actual pipe cleaner or...
when we get really bad with it, we'll just be like, fuck it, and we'll just fucking
Resin hit
it 5 or 6 times really good, and you can see it's just fucking red in there, and right in that little gouge. And just fucking hit a really nice long resin hit, and then it just shrinks it down a little bit because you burned it off.
Right.
So that's how we clean Bob out, because let's be honest, that's a big pain in the dick with him. Not to mention that's the easiest way for him to get broken. Most of the time when people are cleaning their Sherlocks, that's when they break them.
Where most
And
pipes break.
I'm not going to lie. I would be pretty devastated if my boy Bob got broken.
I would cry. I'm not even going to lie.
Like, Bob's been my fave for like almost 3 years. Fuck, it's been almost 3 years that we've had Bob. Oh my God.
Wow.
We went to Hazen in the fall, and we bought Bob then, along with Ellie, Dave, Moray, and our first bong. I think that's everything. And our grinder.
And our grinder.
Our grinder. So do you guys remember your first pipe? I'm sure you do. I know Red remembers his first pipe easily.
Are we talking about... I can go through the multiple ones, because there's multiple ones I made, but my very first pipe was it was a little
Like
spoon.
a legitimate pipe.
Yeah, okay. So it'd be I don't have it anymore because I broke the
bowl?
The bowl itself. Not all the way through, just where it holds the weed. That part just came all the way down after I was scraping it.
I still have my first
But,
bowl.
It was just a little spoon, a little bit smaller than this, the first pipe we're smoking out of. So, it's just maybe a hair smaller, about came to here. It was a nice bowl.
I gotcha.
Had 3 of those ones.
Our first legitimate pipe that we had was eyeball.
No, your first legitimate pipe.
Our, as a couple,
Yes.
was eyeball.
My first was it's a little one hitter on a keychain.
It's a bat one, right?
No,
It looks like a little bat. It looks like kind of like a little bat.
It's a little tiny metal pipe. It's like this big, and it's got a little green tube.
Oh, I have one of those that's red.
My boys bought me that, not the kids. A couple friends of mine, they were my boys. Okay, and they bought it for me at Hazen actually a long time ago. They died 8 years ago yesterday actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
was
one in particular, that is.
Yeah. Both of them. They both died together.
Oh.
Wow.
Yep, same night together.
I don't know. You always just talk about the one.
I was a lot closer with the one than the other one.
Right.
I was close with them both, but the one and I were much closer.
You always talk about the one.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what they brought for me. That was my very first pipe ever, and that's the only thing when I quit smoking before you and I got together a long time ago. I got rid of anything I had or used, except for that's the only thing I kept. I've had it stashed away for a long time.
I mean, probably will never smoke out of it again.
No.
It's just a sentimental piece.
If it's one of the pieces, I think, anyway, the bowl's probably gonna...
It's booty. Yeah, they're booty.
Yeah. It's more just...
They just
thing.
twist and they're gone. But
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, it's kind of like Meanie. After some time, Meanie's going to wear out, and you're not going to be able to put them back together anymore. With taking them apart and cleaning the inside of them and shit like that. He's going to wear out because of his threads.
I know.
But...
I like Meanie, though.
Me too. Meanie's a good road
Well, you
pipe.
don't have to put the cap on him.
Well, no. The threads, he comes apart. Like, he
I know.
comes in a whole bunch of
I
pieces.
mean, you don't have to tear them all the way apart.
Right.
We don't very often.
We
Only
usually
once in
don't.
a blue moon. I think I've torn him completely apart
But
once when I got him to see how it worked,
he
and then
gets
once one other
clogged, though. I've taken him apart twice because he's gotten clogged so bad that you have to take him apart and then push something through all the way through him and then push it down through the other way, too, and you just can't manage when he's together. Just because it's a metal pipe and there's no... it's a dick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that one gets easily clogged. For some reason, metal pipes, resin sticks to it
really
so bad.
Easy to clog.
Well, the problem is,
So
like, the
easy.
resin sticks to it so bad, though. That's my problem. I'm
Right.
like, damn.
No, that's exactly what the problem is with metal pipes.
You smoke, like, 10 bowls out of it, and it's literally clogged at that point. You're like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, because we don't smoke out of Meanie very often. Meanie is one of our little travel pipes, and we only use him if we're really worried about something getting broke.
My buddy from Bradford, when we go to his house, we usually take Meanie with us.
Yep.
Just because Meanie's a safe bet to take with you on the road. You don't have to worry about him getting broken. You don't have to... Like, he has a cap, so you could just put the cap on him if you want to. Which, by the way, we've told you this before. I'm going to tell you fucking again. Don't smoke out of him with the cap on. You can do it, but don't fucking do it.
It's not worth it.
You ought to take a pair of pliers and pry that motherfucker off of it if you do. I'm just telling you. Just don't
We've done
do
it
it.
twice. There will not be a third.
It was her idea.
It was my idea, both times.
The first time I was like, let's give it a go. The second time I was like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like,
I'm one of those people that I have to make sure it was a mistake. Like, I need to have the same...
So what you're
result.
saying is third time's a charm. You're not ready for it yet, but you're going to do it third time here soon.
I mean, no.
she's a hard learner. That's the problem. Like, she learns hard. Learns hard. Full show.
I always have to make sure it was a mistake. Every time. That's why I've been married 3 times.
But yeah, she married me for the third time. She didn't learn from the first 2 times.
I had to learn what a piece of shit was.
The first couple weren't enough. Actually, she's got 3 of them that were definitely piece of shit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If
And
he
one
would've
we have
let
to
me-
still deal with, for fuck's
If
sake.
he would have let me, I probably would have married his ass back then, too. Like, if he would have actually been about it. I don't know. But I probably would have been about it, because that's the type of person I was.
Yeah, you still are. I don't know what your fascination with having to be married is.
I love being married.
I don't get it. I just don't get, like, what the point of it. Like, I'm fine with the fact that we are married, and I enjoy the fact we're married. But, like, you push so hard to get married, I'm like, why? You've already been married twice. Like, obviously, it's not something that you're good at. Like,
Shut the fuck up! It wasn't my fault! You dick!
I'm just saying.
It wasn't my fault.
But she wanted it so bad. I'm like, why? Just
because
let it go.
you're actually a good person. I could enjoy being married to you. The last 2 people I was married to couldn't keep it in their fucking pants.
But you still married them. That's the problem. Like, why?
The one I got married to, and it wasn't a problem at all. And then 2 days after our wedding, I found out he was at his ex-girlfriend's house fucking around with her. Like, I didn't find out about anything until after we were married. The other one, I should.
The other one, he was trying to get a threesome out of Mal and the owl. 2 days before they got married, and she's still married. I'm like, well, that was your first. Like, that's a really good indication that it's not a smart thing. Like, if that's what you're like, if everything's into everything, that's fine. I've had threesomes. They're fine. They're fun. Whatever. At the same time, I don't particularly like sharing. So, like...
Mal is... I think we all know that Mal doesn't share. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody...
That Mal's a psycho. That's the word. Psycho. But, like, if all 3 parties are fine with the threesome, okay. But, like, in this case, like, Mal's not happy with the threesome. Doesn't matter who it's with. Because she doesn't share well. Yeah, we didn't empty that because we didn't know if it was really empty or not. We just not doing it on you. But anyways...
It's different.
Like, it's not one of those things. Like, I would never approach Mal about a threesome. We actually talked about this at a fire last week, or 2 weekends ago now.
Yeah, we did.
And I was waiting to get yelled at for it because of my comment. I guess I was drinking, and my comment came out not how I had planned for it to, I guess. So it sounded like I was salty about the fact that I couldn't have a threesome when I don't care to. But, like I said then, I have the perfect setup for it. Mal's best friend's bisexual, and would be all about it, because she doesn't have any sexual life, really. So she would be all about it. But Mal is not. So I would never push it, because, first off...
He's never even asked.
Like, my wife would get pissed. Like, if I tried doing that shit. I know. And I don't... Like I said, it was fun. I would do another threesome in the event that it was the perfect situation. But I don't care to. Like, It's not something I... It's not necessarily want or care to.
You're not going to approach me about it.
And I knew that when we got married, so, like...
if anything, I would have to approach you about it.
Yes. That would have to be how it would go. If you approached me and it was, like, a situation, okay.
You'd be like, what drugs are you
I know, I'd be like, where the fuck did my wife go and what'd you do with her?
You are not my wife. What did you do with her?
I've already told him don't hold your breath because I will never be coming to him with that conversation.
And I have no problem with that. Not in the slightest. Trust me, I get plenty of fucking in. I don't need anybody else in my life. Trust me. I have plenty. You know what we never did? We never played a game last time. You smoked and then handed it here. And then we never played a game. That's like our thing. I wonder if we got other people doing that. I got thinking about it the other day. I was like, I wonder how many people play games to figure out who's going to get the first hit.
The only reason I did it the first time was because you were already like, man, I've been working doubles. And I'm like, yeah, that's just talk for you need a hit. I've already
go first.
I've already smoked on the porch with your wife while waiting for you. I mean, here you go.
Right.
Yeah.
You deserve that more than anybody.
I mean, today I feel good. I'm not sore or anything. I was really sore on Tuesday, just because Monday was such a long day, and Sunday was such a long day, so then by Tuesday, my feet and everything were throbbing by like 11 a.m. I'd only been at work by 2 hours, and my everything hurt. I was like, oh, God.
Oof.
My back was pretty sore this morning. It feels better this evening, but...
She's been doing late-night tattooing. Like, she's been tattooing 3-4 hours the last couple of nights in a row, so her back's pretty well fucked.
Well, you know what's really good for your backs and your feet?
Is it a big-ass Yukon?
No.
It's a Tahoe.
Tahoe.
I know.
You done fucked up,
I know
hey, Ron.
Tahoe. I was being a dick.
No, the kind is Tahoe. We own a Yukon.
I know.
But the
A
weed strain
Tahoe
is
is a Chevy, a Yukon's GMC.
That's why I was like, you done fucked up.
I knew it wasn't the right thing.
Anyway.
So why'd you say it? It doesn't make any sense. How does that make any fucking sense, Red? Tell me that. If she knows it's the wrong answer, why would she try to fucking say it?
Your wife a while
Like,
ago.
I get it. Like, I get she was saying a car, but she said our car. not the Chevy version, which is the Tahoe, which is what our weed strand is.
Exactly. Anyway, so a few things I learned about Tahoe was it's great for insomnia, pain, and lack of appetite. So if you actually have any of these things, it's actually really good for you.
I'll attest to that. I've been smoking Tahoe for a week and a half, and besides the panic attack I had on Sunday night because I was so exhausted and then got really fucked up, you sleep really well.
Oh, I'm sure.
You fucking do. I mean, you smoked with us last week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
It also features, from what I'm told by others on this, it says it has a earthy lemon taste. And I get the earthy taste.
I mean, it's a weed, so
It's
I mean,
weed.
it tastes like earth.
It tastes like earth, so.
I don't get the lemony taste, though.
I don't either.
What I get from it, it's a very strong high. It really is. For about an hour and a half. It's not a long laster. If it was my opinion, what I would recommend is you take some Jack Herer and mix it with this shit, and it would last a whole lot longer. And that would be fucking dope.
That's actually a really good idea and something I think we should do.
That fucking Jack Herer, okay, so Jack Herer, when we were smoking it, tell me I'm wrong here, but you got fucking big for hours, and I mean, you were high off for like 6 hours.
I mean, until we were smoking it for like...
But like, it was a long-lasting high for being... So I just wanted to say that. Like, that's my recommendation for... Or I mean, Gorilla Glue is another one that lasts a good while. It lasts a good while. Anyways, a long laster. That's all I wanted to say.
Right.
Mix it with a long laster, and it would be way good for you.
So, some parents of Tahoe OG would be OG Kush and SFV OG Kush.
What in the fuck is that?
That's all it says.
SFVOG
Kush.
S-Bog.
It really does. Like,
that's all it says.
So, fuck. I don't know.
I think it's like a San Francisco, maybe, something like that. I don't know. But it also is a parent to Alien OG and White Tahoe cookies.
Well, I knew that...
Right.
I knew that it was the Alien, because that's where we heard about it to start.
Yes.
And then, funny enough, our guide from downstairs had it, and I was like, huh, we just talked about this a couple weeks ago. I want the Tahoe.
I like it. I like the high you get from it. I do wish it was longer.
The high is amazing. It's just not long enough.
It is a hybrid, but it is indica dominant. So it is also a moderate grow from what I'm seeing.
I gotcha.
It's a medium height of 30 inches to 78 inches per plant.
You know, just up to 7 feet.
You know, just...
That's a medium size
That's
plant?
a medium... I mean...
Are you kidding me? I showed you the guy with the fucking tree. That it was literally this big around.
Oh, yeah.
He let it grow for 2 years at his house in Washington. And literally, in 2 years, it was this big around. And he had to use an axe to cut it down. And it was so big. You know how you repot them as they get bigger?
Yeah.
He literally had it in like a 50-gallon drum. And then dumped it out with his tractor and planted it in the ground. And it was like 12 or 13 feet tall. And he got like 19 pounds of weed off of it. Because it had... Well, it was a full-on fucking tree.
It's a fucking tree.
It was a full-on fucking tree.
But that's so...
I showed you the picture of it. The guy next to it, he was like half the height of it. I was like, holy mother of pearl. And then I was reading all the comments, and he said that he had let it... He started it in the spring, and then wrapped it in the winter somehow, and kept it warm. I mean, I don't know. And then he unwrapped it, and then at the end of season, the second year, when it would be time to cut, he cut the whole fucking thing down. So he had enough weed for like a couple of years, he said. I was like, I would fucking say.
So, another quick fact.
Sorry.
It takes 7 to 9 weeks to flower, and you can get 3 to 6 ounces per square foot.
That's not bad, though. It really isn't. Because usually most of them are up to 12 to 15 weeks. I've seen as high as 15 weeks, let's put it that way. But that's also when you're letting them amber. And, like, might let ours go a little longer than it should. They say to cut when it's most cloudy, so it looks like it's cloudy as shit in the trichomes. That's when you should cut it. That's when it's the most THC. And then after that, it starts turning brown. It ambers is what they call it. And it takes about 2 weeks for it to amber. If you cut it when it's fully ambered, that's when it's the most relaxing high. It's like when everything, it's like overly populated THC, and it just mellows you the fuck out. Huh. So I was thinking about letting it go like maybe 3 days after it gets really cloudy when I go to cut mine, when I start growing. Obviously, I haven't started growing yet. But when I do, ow, motherfucker. Anyways, it's a demon. Oh, shit all over me. Anyways, fucking, I think that's what I want to do. I mean, you know, you lived with us for a good while last year, and I do a shitload of research all the time. Me and Al both do. And for sure, that's what I want to do. I want to wait until they get a little overly done, a tiny bit, and then cut them. And I think that'll be what's best. But like for most people, a lot of people cut them actually too early. Mm. And then it gives you like a more upbeat high, like what a sativa would. Right. Even though it's indica, it will still be like a sativa high. Huh. Because the trichomes and the THC is young, so it's really amped up. But they say to let it get a little more mature, and usually when you're clouded is when it's best. Okay. But I want to let it get a little tiny bit. But after like a week and a half and it's really ambered, that's when all the seeds pop up usually. Because then it's trying to reproduce because it's now a full-grown plant trying to grow other plants. Right. So you want to avoid letting it get to the point where it's actually seeding. Because then you're going to have a fucking chore. Right. Digging seeds out of everything. Yeah. But that's also like if you are looking to set up to like hybrid your own plants, that would be the time to do it because that's when you would get seeds, and then you'd have your seeds for your next one and to be able to take a male too. Interesting. And then that's how like the hybrid goes from there. They take a seed off of that plant, and that's then the hybrid of the male and the female. But it's not until you get a seed off of the one that they mated on. Yeah. And then what I want to know is how do you know what you're going to get out of the weed for different kinds of, like, different feels? Because, like, they put indica and sativa all the time. So what if you want a sativa, you know, like, the feel of a sativa, maybe the long-lasting of this indica? You know what I mean? Right. Because a lot of indicas last longer than sativas do. What? We should put Tahoe and Jack together.
Sorry, I tried not to laugh. I really tried.
I knew it was coming. Anyways, I want to know how they do that. Like, how are you going to know that if you put this female plant with this male plant, you're going to get these things from the female and these things from the male? Like, how do they know that?
They probably don't. It's probably
just like snake breeding. Just do what you do until...
Yeah, but there's a good chance of probabilities, though. And then what if you have the wrong... Like, if you have the seeds, like, the wrong shit. It makes up the wrong shit. Or it doesn't do what you want it to do.
Then you try again with something else.
But then what if you do it again and then it's wrong? So then you've wasted 2 seasons on coming up with something new that isn't the way you want it.
That's part of it, though. It's just like you said, just like snake breeding. It's just with plants. It's a guessing game.
But see, with snake breeding, we'll know what comes up. With plants, like the calculator. We went over that the other day.
You're right, but there are also times, like right now, Brian's got a snake he's breeding out to see what is behind this gene he's got going on. That's something he doesn't know what it is. It's the same thing. Now he's got to figure out what it is, and now he gets to pair it with other stuff and see, ooh, what are these going to make? And what are these going to make?
And then he'll have his own gene.
He did. He's named it. It's called the pumpkin. It's a pumpkin.
A pumpkin.
It's pretty.
It's Blumpkin the pumpkin.
That's all I can think of. Dude. His fucking bat dad.
Dude, I died.
Hey, Dad, look at my pumpkin. His name's Blumpkin. You hear that, Jen? His name's Blumpkin. You ever watch that? You ever watch that video? Oh,
Yeah.
it's fucking great.
I love Bad Dad.
I'm just saying, Bad Dad, you kick ass. If you ever listen to this, just saying.
I know, he's funny.
He's funny as shit.
His kids. Oh my god.
Lumpkin the pumpkin.
And his wife, man, she tolerates a lot of fucking nonsense. Not only from him, but from their spawns.
Jen! What? You look nice today. Like, all the time. And he just, Jen! Like, just yells, and she's like, what? Can you get that for me? I guess.
Yeah, she's like, are you fucking kidding?
A couple seconds later, Jen! She's like, what? Your butt looks nice today. That's his favorite thing to tell her, too. She's like, God damn you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, he's fucking funny.
He is funny.
He's fucking funny.
My husband just waits until I walk by and then he smacks me in it really, really hard.
Or grab her ass. Bam!
His favorite time to do is when I'm trying to step over something.
Lobster claw.
And then I about fall on my face every time.
We know how graceful she is.
I'm so clumsy. It sucks.
So you got some questions for us?
I do.
'Cause it's a boot that time.
Is it a boot that
Marco.
time?
Pull up. Ha
Bam.
I'm busy. Okay.
ha. She has to have an excuse
you
for
got
it.
it.
It's like, I'm not just allowed to win on my own volition. She has to be like, I'm busy, so...
It's because she's an Aries.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, Aries.
Why are you spitting at me?
I had a grossness in my mouth.
And it had to come at me?
It's better than red. I put my spit in and on you every day, okay?
Not that kind of spit.
I'm just saying. I don't put my spit on
You
red.
don't spit loogies on me.
I don't. I didn't hit you whatsoever with
I got
it.
sprayed.
You're full of shit.
I got sprayed. Red's got a bug in his hair.
This
Still
woman...
there?
No, I didn't see it.
So, if Mary had Jesus, and Jesus was the Son of God, does that mean that Mary had a little lamb?
Doesn't make any
It
sense.
sure does.
If 9/11 was an inside job, why did the planes come from the outside?
Well, see, they say it's an inside job because when the planes hit it, for some reason there was they did a thermal scan of the towers, and it was 2,300 degrees in the basement of it. But the planes hit like 60 stories up. So how does that make any sense? That was fucked. You fucked it up.
Because jet fuel melts steel beams.
But it's on the basement. They hit it at 60 floors up. How did it happen in the basement at 2,300 degrees?
Part of their argument is that the buildings collapsed from the bottom. They started crumbling at the bottom.
Because they were 2,400 degrees.
Jet fuel doesn't.
I'm
burn
giving
at
this
a
to her
temperature hot enough
because
to melt steel beams.
You done fucked it up, the two of you. Just saying. What now?
Jet fuel doesn't burn at a temperature hot enough to melt steel beams.
Where does it go?
I guess now. It's supposed to go this way.
You won.
You fucked up.
And
then gave it to her. And then she fucked up. I gave it to her. And she fucked up and gave it to you instead of me.
Now we're just fucking it up and we're just going to commit.
Okay.
So
That's
which
fine.
way is it going now?
This
way.
Okay.
Because you fucked it up.
I'm sorry.
And
then you hit it. And I was like, don't hit it. Because you fucked it up and I gave it to her and I didn't hit it. I was like, I'm going to be a good boy. And then you two fucked up.
I'm sorry.
It's because you two are high and I'm not. That's the problem. Because you were smoking when I was working.
So what's your other question?
Yeah, that was dumb.
I want to know why isn't a group of squids called a squad?
So what's a group of squids called? Well, you didn't know? What the fuck is...
So she gets these questions. And
I know,
she
she's
doesn't
going to
look them
ask
up.
a stoner. A question.
Oh, fuck.
A squad of squid.
Oh, it is called a squad!
Oh my god.
So your question's stupid.
Yeah, it's wrong.
So you need a new question.
I'm not... Oh, I have another one then. It's okay. Let's see. Sorry. If two mind readers read each other's minds, whose mind are they reading?
Now, when I was saying I wanted to do a stoner question of the night kind of thing, I wanted something that made you think, not some dipshit thing.
Yeah, we wanted something we could talk about.
Yeah, something that was going to last more than 12 seconds when I'm like, yeah, it's dumb. It's not a full-on conversation piece.
Sure is.
No, it's
I
not.
think that they're reading their own minds, because if you and I are reading each other's minds, you're reading mine and I'm reading yours, therefore we're reading our own. I think that's how that works. Because
Okay.
I'd be reading what you were reading.
That's what you're saying. We'll go with it.
Okay, what else?
Okay.
You don't have to like my questions.
What was this stupid one?
I don't care.
Like, I like questions like that make you actually think
Okay,
and make
well,
other
I
people think, not,
Like,
hey, if I have two negatives, is it a negative or a positive? Because that's like half your questions.
That's okay.
If I have two negatives, it's a positive, right? Or is it a negative? And then when we're like, it's negative. Okay, let's move on.
It's not, though.
Yeah.
Not always.
No.
That's why we can talk about it, because we disagree.
That thing was my question was a meme, and it got more of a response than your questions.
I get yelled at for stealing shit like that from your meme, so neener fucking neener.
The thing was I got more of a response.
I don't care.
But I just, like, I thought it would be cool to have a question that would, like, be a full-on question.
I'm sorry, my questions aren't good enough. I'm sorry. Okay, I think they're funny. If you don't like them, I'm sorry.
Now we're getting defensive. Oh, God. It's just not something we could talk about. That's all. That's all I was trying to say. Like, that's the point of having 4 segments that are long. That's all. So that we have something to talk about. I just let it go. And we'll just have to figure out something to talk about for the next 20 minutes. For the first section! Yeah. I know, my section's not super long, though. But we usually get into a conversation about something to do with it, though. That's kind of why I do it.
I understand.
Yeah.
Like, my segment goes on. Your segment has us guessing unless we're all being lame and not guessing.
Well, I mean, and then, like, have a full-on conversation afterwards. Like with the watermelon sugar, we talked about it the whole night, really. Like, yeah.
You know,
the same thing with Mamala.
I was just going to say, you know what needs to lighten the mood? We need to say Mamala. Crap, what was last week's word?
Last week's word was the bull rat one there. Oh, wow.
Very, no, not very nice.
Wawa.
Wawa wee wom.
Yeah, wawa wee wah.
Wawa wee wom.
Wah. Wawa wee wah.
Wawa wee wah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tonight's is going to be something we could talk about for sure. Because it's definitely something that happens all the time. All the time.
Okay.
I see it in people.
I'll keep that in mind when I keep my guess.
Right. It doesn't happen directly, like, in my life. But I see it happen to other people all the time. Around me.
Okay.
Oh, good God.
Are you dying?
Pepsi. That's the problem.
Pepsi.
I've been, like, belching, like, in my mouth and then just letting it slowly drift out so that way it's not loud. I really like this pipe. It gets hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you start getting off of it being a green hit, it's, like, starts burning my hand. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. It's a really nice pipe. It hits
That's the
really
reason
nice.
why, usually, if you see me with this, I usually camp on it for a second, just because I don't want it to get too hot.
I usually hold it a little bit much slower, but then you're like...
Well, at the same time, I don't want the glass to get too hot and break. That's what I worry about. Because I know with glass, it gets fragile. And plus, if you're letting it get super hot all the time...
That's probably one of my favorite chillums, too, because it just hits so nicely compared to...
I like the length on it, and it works really nice for me just to go like this.
And it's a meaty feeling pipe. Like, when you hold it in your hand,
weight
it's
to
got
it.
that weight.
Well, if you look at it, it's a solid, like, 1/8 of an inch thick. I mean, it's got some fucking thickness to it. So, like, I don't know, I like it.
I think I got that one off of eBay, and I think that one's from Hippie Mama.
You did, because I loved it, and then you told me where you got it, and it made me love it more, because I love their shop.
Mel likes the Hippie Mama.
Hippie Mama's a really good
That's
shop.
where we've bought and shit besides, like, when...
That's where I try to go with my online shit.
Right, when they
Mama
opened up Smoke Buddy, obviously, that's where we've been hanging out at for our stuff. But we still buy stuff from Hippie Mama. But, I mean, most of our stuff is coming from Hippie Mama. Just because I feel like they're a really reputable source. You never have chips in your pipes. You never have like, imperfections.
Custom bags every time.
Right.
They're always packed.
They always
nice
give you
bags.
stickers.
They're
They're just, like, they go over the top, I feel like, a little bit. So, I would recommend to anybody, if they want to buy anything, buy it from Hippie Mama.
Yeah.
I've got, like, 4 or 5 of her little bags laying around.
Oh, yeah.
In my bedroom.
I'm pretty sure right now I have all 4 sizes. Small, medium, large, and then next size up. I would call it extra large, but the large and the extra large are like that much bigger. You know, it's like not even an inch.
It's like a large and a half.
Yeah, it's like extra
Ish.
Extra large-ish.
Ferg. These fucking bugs, I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
man, they're crazy.
Well, it's because it fucking rained.
Yeah, it rained. It fucking rained.
Before I had to go to work, me and Mal were sitting on the porch, and I'm like looking out, and I'm like, ooh. Because she's like, look at this storm coming. And I'm like, I looked at it a second ago, actually. So then we're talking, you know, like just sitting on the porch bullshitting in the afternoon. And we look over, and I'm like, is this starting to rain? She's like, yeah, it sounds like rain. We look over. We're like, oh, I don't see any rain. Not right yet. But you could hear it, though, and we're like... So we're watching, and we start seeing some sprinkles. We're like, all right. And then this cloud's just coming, and it's just fucking like a wall. It is coming towards us. I'm like, oh, fuck.
What's funny is I messaged you guys, and I'm like, I might come out a little bit later because of how heavy it's raining, and you guys like, we're sitting on the porch. It's nothing right now. And then, like, I texted, I'm like, I don't know how. It's a full fucking downpour. And she's like, and Mal over here's like, yeah. Before I sent that message to you, it was not blowing on the porch, but it was totally...
Yeah. Oh, it started coming down hard as fuck. I looked at her, I'm like, how are we going to do the podcast today if it's this loud? She goes, well, we did it with the tarps around, or the, you know, the... Plastic up. I'm like, that's once in a while. This is like full on fucking, I mean, it's going. Along with the fucking thunderstorm. It was thunder and lightning.
Crashing.
It was funny. It crashed right here, right across the road. And I was like... Boom. It was literally like not even 2 seconds later. And when I said, boom, it went, I was like, I love it when I'm right. Mal just kind of smiled. She didn't say nothing. I'm like, uh-huh.
That's because he does. He really loves being right.
I do. I hate being wrong. I really I'll be the first to admit it. But I'm also the first to admit I'm wrong.
He hates it when I prove him wrong on something, though. Like, he's like, damn it.
I'm like, fuck, okay. No big deal.
Yeah,
but like
he doesn't get mad.
I'm the first person to say that I'm wrong, though. If I'm wrong, I really am.
My problem is I don't like being wrong either, but I'm also wrong quite frequently.
She always says, "I may not be right, but I'm never wrong." I'm like, "Oh, woman, you're wrong. Like you're wrong.
May not always be right, but I am never wrong."
I know you're never wrong.
I know
she's not always right and or never right, damn near, but she's never wrong.
You love me.
Some magical way.
I know. I don't know why the fuck you love me, but you do.
So in the recording, you're going to cut out that long drink you were taking so it was like right up against it. So it's like no silence in between that.
Yeah, I was planning on it. I usually do.
What?
I feel like you get baked, and then you notice, like, little tiny things. You're like, are you going to fix that when you do the recording? I'm like, why are you saying this while we're recording? Like, just keep it in your brain, bud. Like, I would fix that, yeah.
Poke a peach ring in there and no.
Now we have a whole 5-minute talk now about it. That's out of nowhere. That I'm just going to fucking leave, because, yeah, this is the bloopers that we have. We're real. We're real. That's all there is to it.
Sucks.
We're fucking real.
Real people.
Well, when I had my radio show, too, trust me. Me and fucking Myth, like, all the time, people knew we were fucking real. We weren't faking shit, and we didn't change it, because I'm like, nope. He'd be, like, telling a fucking joke. He didn't even plan on being in the air. He just got into the moment and then told me a joke, and, like... I'd leave it there. And he goes, you got rid of that joke, right? I'm like, no, I left it there. He goes, no fucking way. Like, you left that shit. I said, yeah, it was fucking funny. It was good shit. I'm like, we're real people. Fuck that shit. Like, we are. We're not Hollywood people.
No,
we're like, my wife hasn't worn an actual set of clothes besides today in like a week. Okay.
I have done tattoos this week, and I had on a decent shirt and leggings. Okay?
Leggings and a cami.
Not a cami. This is not a cami.
This doesn't have straps, whatever. It doesn't have actual sleeves. It just comes to her shoulders. Whatever you want to call that.
It's
a
just a tank
halter
top.
top or some
No,
bullshit.
honey,
I don't
that's what
fucking
ties
know.
behind your neck. That's what your daughter was wearing today.
I gotcha.
It's literally just a tank top.
Exactly, a tank top, aka a female version of a cami is a tank top. Men have tank tops, girls have camis.
This is a woman's shirt. There are women's tank tops, and there's women's camis, and there's spaghetti straps, and there's all different kinds. Okay, I promise. I promise.
Christ. Because I said this, she's like, I had a nice shirt on. I'm like, it's a fucking cami, woman.
It's a tank top.
Exactly.
It's not a cami. I don't tattoo in camis.
It's a tank top.
It's a
That's
tank
her
top.
fancy fucking shirt, she says, is a fucking tank top.
It's 80 degrees in our house.
It's damn near a white beater, okay? I mean, that's her fancy shirt she's wearing.
I didn't say it was fancy. I said a decent. And there's no stains on it, and it was clean.
Also, whose fault is it that it's 80 degrees in the house?
How's it my fucking fault?
Because you're the one that gets sick from air conditioners.
Who's the one that had to have all the fucking reptiles with heat lamps on and shit?
Us.
I was fine for 5 years without having any animals. Miss, I have to have millions of animals.
We traded.
I took that trade. It was fair. I could get rid of fucking horses and take reptiles instead. Done! I told her, I'm like, I ain't hearing nothing about no fucking horse in 10 years. Not doing it. She said she was fine. I took down the fucking pasture.
Pasture's gone. We sold
Not
mine.
all of it, but we're working on it.
I sold all my horse stuff. The only things I have left now is 2 saddles, and they're up for sale. I just haven't sold them yet.
It's just one of them things. I'll have to fucking worry about horses no more. He's done. Yep. Okay, reptiles. She ripped herself off, honestly. She could have got a better deal there, I think, than just regular reptiles. But hey, I'll take that deal.
I'm not getting regular reptiles, though.
I'm just saying, like, reptiles. Like, you probably could have worked your way into something else, too, while you were at it, but you didn't.
I could have had reptiles.
I'm not greedy.
And parrots.
She says I'm not greedy, says, Miss, I have to have 100 and some species of reptiles someday.
Okay, but I could have asked for reptiles and I didn't. Instead, I just asked for reptiles.
Well, it's because you were not in the position for it at the time, so.
Well, you yourself just said it, so I don't want to hear it. But, I mean, there
Deal's
are things...
done, so we're good.
I did get a fennec fox out of the deal, too, though.
Eventually.
I have to wait for that until, like, we have our building and all that nonsense.
Many
but,
years from now.
Like, I can have a fennec fox.
Where the hell did Nanners go?
In my lap.
In her
Okay.
lap. Yeah.
I had a mini panic attack because I was like, where the fuck did I set that?
I have it. You handed it to me.
Yeah, you gave it
it's
to
in
her
my lap.
because you had a nose itch.
Right.
Yes. Indubitably, my young dear Watson.
I have a question.
What?
Can I please have a peach ring?
That's up to you. I toss them to her, but I mean, that's up to you. They ain't
Thank
mine,
you.
so.
They're delicious.
Oh, they're super tasty.
My sweet tooth is out of control right now, so, like, these are heaven.
I have to watch how I eat them. I have a tooth that's pissy.
Yeah, I have a tooth that's pissy too, which is why I'm kind of pushing them a little bit towards you guys.
I just chew on the other side of my mouth. It's alright.
It only started when I started drinking the juice. I think it's because I've been drinking water the past 2 days.
Juice has the sugar in it, and with already eating sugar too.
Yeah, that and I was drinking soda real bad the past week before I ran out of soda. So now I was like, oh, I'll drink some water, and now it's like now I'm putting more sugar back in. Like, ugh.
And your teeth are like, hey,
Yeah,
we already had a break here. We're staying on this break, bitch. Don't be beating us up.
Yeah. Ow!
She had a huge pissed off thing on her nose today.
I did. I've had a really large bump inside my nose, right above where my piercing is.
oh,
And there's nothing I can do about it. I have to leave it alone.
is it like a zit?
It was in the inside. It was just a lump. There wasn't a head or anything on it, just a lump. This morning, I had a huge pus bubble right here.
Ooh.
And when I got a Q-tip and sprayed the stuff on it to clean it, and popped it, the amount of nonsense that came out of it was gross. So now it's healing from being pissed off.
And it doesn't have the lump on the inside anymore. So that's
No.
where it was.
I think it was probably a nasty ass zit. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, it's something
Because
to do with
it's
my
a
nose.
piercing. It's right in one of your pores.
But
so.
it's like, it probably isn't all the way healed. Not to mention we have two youngins that hit it all the time, so it
Yeah.
doesn't help her healing process any.
Right.
Like, my ears just got done getting healed not so long ago. We just upped our size, actually. We just went up to... She went to a 6, and I went to an 8.
But, so it's not... It's supposed to be healed after, like, 12 weeks. And it's been almost 12 weeks.
Right. But you have to think it
because
goes
I have
backwards a
kids,
little ways with hitting the kids.
Every time the
hitting and
kids
shit.
freaking bump it.
Right.
It's a rough life trying to heal anything with children. It really is.
Or
a wife like mine.
Yeah.
She'll step on your fucking sprained ankle. She'll kick you in the nuts like the second day after getting your dick cut. Your nuts cut, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she fucking... I don't know what she did. I don't remember now, but you landed right on my nuts or something.
I think we were goofing off.
Right
like,
after I got it
wrestling.
done. Yeah. Yeah, I sprained my ankle in the beginning of last year, and she fucking stood right on my sprained ankle. The day after I sprained it. Like, it was a bad sprain. I wasn't allowed to work for 10 days or anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She stood right on my fucking ankle.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God.
I've stabbed him in the eyeball, knuckle deep.
Well, that wasn't an injury I already had.
Yeah,
that was just her injuring
Yeah,
me.
except I elbowed you in that same eyeball later that
You're
night.
just lucky it didn't come out with her finger.
Yeah. Well, like, later that night we went to go to bed and I elbowed him right in the eye. Same eye.
It goes that way. I'll keep you guys straight. Like I said, you guys are higher than I am.
Sorry.
It's okay. I do that to you guys sometimes, too.
I'm just getting eaten the fuck up by these.
I'm not getting eaten. I'm just getting attacked by all the fucking moths. They just seem to want to run into me today. Fuckers. Legit, we sit on the porch, so, like, and it's not a screened-in porch, so, like, we get bugs.
And we can't have the bug zapper on while, you know.
No, that
this is on.
motherfucker goes off. Like, when you hit a moth or something,
It probably has this nice little sound when in the recording.
as long as it's not hitting a bug, you can't hear it. But when it's hitting a bug, I mean, it's like, zzz, I mean, it fucking goes off. You get one of them big-ass moths in it, it'll fry something for like 4 minutes.
Just get a squirrel.
Oh, I can only imagine. That would be a really pissed off squirrel, though. Can you imagine that shit? Like, that would fucking hurt.
I hope my little porch chipmunk leaves it alone.
Why would a chipmunk fuck with it? God damn it.
Now you're doing it.
It's because the first two went that fucking way. The third one's going the other fucking way.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm getting too old.
We're gonna do this cross pattern shit.
No, we're good. I
We're
got
gonna do
this.
the fourth.
I got this. We're good. No, you can't cross when you have only 3. Doesn't make any sense.
We'll pass to the.
If we had 4 of us, you guys could go like this.
We'll
But
pass to the audience. We'll have
they
them
don't care.
smoke with us.
They ain't gonna be able to do it. They ain't here. I mean, they should be smoking with us. I mean, we're enablers. Let's be honest here.
It's your hit. Hit it. Hit it.
Didn't we just have this conversation where you and I both, like, feed off each other's...
We do.
And we're terrible, terrible influences.
Yeah.
Now it's going on the mouth. You better take in your hit.
Like, we push each other, for sure. And then, the 3 of us kind of are all bad for each other. Like, when it comes to smoking, because there's always one of us that could be a little more high. Let's be straight. So then we all just, we're bad.
Hey,
Hence why we smoke 4 fucking bowls on a podcast.
Oh, there was the one where we did the 4 balls, and then right after the show was over, I was like, let's do a dab.
After doing 2 dabs before the show.
Yeah, after doing 2 dabs before the show as well.
And we're all like, fuck it, why not?
We haven't ripped a dab in literally a week.
Yeah,
because the downstairs guy's been out for a while.
We need some wax.
I was thinking I was going to get some wax when I bought some last week. Or, yeah, it was last week. From the guy downstairs. And then, you didn't have no wax. I was like, whoa, shit sticks.
Yeah, when I...
Let me die for a minute. That's the worst thing about weed.
Right? Yeah, I mean, nothing against him or anything. It's wax is sometimes hard to get.
Right.
Well, the problem with wax is it's hard to get good wax.
Yes.
And, like, I know the guy downstairs doesn't like to get anything that doesn't really work all that well. Because he uses his own product, which is what you should do if you're a dealer by any means. If you don't, you're a piece of shit. I'm just saying. Because you're forcing other people to smoke what
Now-
you wouldn't.
Now, there's a difference between using your own shit and smoking from your stash. Because if you're smoking from your own stash, that's a bad dealer rule. You should never smoke from your own, what you're selling.
Right. Well, I'm sure like every dealer probably says, okay, when they buy, 2 pounds of weed from somebody, they say, okay, these 4 ounces are mine, and then this other 1 pound, 1 pound, 12 ounces is for selling. I'm sure that's how they do it.
I know some people who just smoke right from their product.
I mean, you could do that.
You can, but I don't recommend it at all.
I feel like you're not going to make much money that way. But then again, I don't, that's not my kind of thing. I'm good at business savvy. I'm good at that. It's just I'm not good at, I wouldn't be a drug dealer. It's not my thing.
I used to. I don't like it. Too many people come to your house.
Yeah.
And some of them you're not going to like. And, you can not sell to them again, but at the same time...
Now they know where you live.
Mm-hmm.
And, DJ's been robbed at least 3 times that I know of.
Yeah.
I mean, he even has cameras in his fucking house and shit. That's just too much when you have to have a camera in your own fucking house. I get it if you have a nanny and you want a nanny cam. That's not... I don't knock anybody on that.
Yeah, no judgment, promise, guys.
That's you trying to be
but
a responsible adult.
You're, really suspicious of the nanny.
No, I feel like it's best just to be able to make sure everything's good. Because not every child's going to say something. And, I mean, our kids, you'd never know somebody who's abusing them. They beat shit out of each other so much that they both have bruises everywhere. At least one child out of the 2 of them has a bruise on their face at all times.
Yeah, because one took something from the other, so the other one schwacked the fuck out of him.
So it's not like you could really go by it. Well, you can't really go by... even just one kid. I always had bruises growing up. I was constantly at the playground,
Dude, I have bruises all over my legs right now, and I don't even know where the fuck they came from.
And I haven't had any in a while, so you can't even blame this guy for them.
P.S. I'm sorry.
I mean...
It's not my fault.
No.
But, regardless, bruises happen. Kids play rough. But...
It's just one of those things that...
It's just,
unless your kid's saying that your nanny... if your kid's old enough to say that their nanny is doing something to them, then, you could look into it, I guess, at that point. But, you could just be safe at that point and already have one.
Is a male nanny still called a nanny, or is he called a nanner?
I'm pretty sure it's not a nanner,
It's definitely still called a nanny.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Or a butler. Maybe a
butler.
A butler could be a...
A butler is more of a house attendant for a richer
They kind of
person.
run the household, make sure everything runs smoothly. They sometimes answer the door, that type of thing.
Serve dinner and all that.
They're like the head person of all the people who do this shit.
Yeah.
All I can think about is Django. And
yeah.
And the head
the black dude there.
Yeah. What the hell's his name? Samuel L. Jackson in the movie. He's just that dickhead in that movie, and he is the head
butler.
Yeah. That's what we'll call it. I guess that I don't know how else you'd say it. I guess
racially acceptable.
Theoretically, they just use the N-word through the whole movie, so he'd be like the head honcho of them for the place. But I'm definitely not going in that direction, not ever.
No.
So
no,
we're just gonna say the king shit on Turd Mountain was Samuel L. Jackson. He was a fucking dickhead. That's the only person I could ever think of when I think of the head of the household is him, and I'm just like, fucker, he's a dickhead.
But yeah, I don't. And with the way people are nowadays, you really ought to be safe about it. You know what I mean?
Anyways, holy fuck, we are so bad at stoners. So, going back to what we were talking about.
Nanny cams?
Well, having to have a camera in your house. I just feel like it's just fucking ridiculous. It really is. If you cannot trust people bad enough that you have to have a camera in your house. Like, I'm not knocking them for it at all. It's smart of them to do it. But it's just sad when you have to live a life where you're worried about somebody breaking into your house or stealing your shit when you're not around that badly.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. I don't know. I don't want to live that
Unless you're home literally 24/7, I don't know.
As a dealer.
Yeah.
No, I just can't. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not about it.
No. Now, like, once it became legal and I was growing, I would sell to dealers. Just
Ones
wholesale.
That we know and trust.
You know, well, I have a lot of...
Well, you're out in the middle of nowhere, so
Plus,
it's like...
I mean,
you have to know somebody to be like, oh, yeah, I know exactly where Oddball Robinson is. I just have to go over there and fucking pick it up.
In the middle of fucking nowhere.
But see, like, I have enough people that smoke enough weed that we could set you up. We could set John Boy and Bry up. We could set up DJ. We could set up the guy downstairs.
Yeah.
And that right there, just that 4 set of people, we could get away with selling like a easy 2 pounds of weed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you'd probably take a couple of ounces at a good price.
Yeah.
And then John Boy and Bry would take a couple of ounces easily. And then DJ and the guy downstairs both have no problem getting rid of weed. So, I mean, I know DJ said he gets through some shit. Like, goes through some shit. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to know. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying.
Right.
He goes through some fucking products. So I know that they would have no problem selling it. As long as it turned out good, which, I mean, let's be honest here. I'm going to be a Nazi about it, so just saying.
Right. And if you don't know the person, that's another thing. It should be one of those, you have to know a guy that knows a guy type of deal to actually get, you know.
I got you. Like, if, like, say you brought somebody, like the Russian.
Yeah.
Like how you brought the Russian out, and now he's one of our friends, too.
Right.
He's one of our people now.
Yeah, so, like, if he got brought out by you and was like, hey, I heard that your crop's ready, could I get a couple ounces? Okay, I'd sell the Russian.
Right.
You know, just a friend, but I wouldn't be willing to sell to somebody that's not a friend or somebody that I've met through somebody that, because I wouldn't be looking to get in trouble. Especially when it was just one of those things like, I mean, we're not going to smoke a couple of pounds.
Right.
And if I can cultivate weed the way I want to, I could turn 3 plants into like 5 or 6 pounds. Theoretically.
Right.
I mean, the one guy turned 4 plants into 20 pounds.
Right.
And then it was 11 after it was dry. So, I mean, that's 3 pounds every 3 months. Okay, no, we're not going to smoke that. I don't smoke a pound in like fucking 2 months, I don't think. It's probably close to probably a pound in like, no.
I did the math.
I smoke about an ounce a month. So it'd be like a year's worth of weed. We would have like 4 of those every 3 months. Mm-hmm. Okay, we don't need that much weed. But
I think I did the math. I'm smoking roughly 3/4 of an ounce a week.
A week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good bit.
Yeah.
But I
It'd be
mean,
nice if we had enough that we could wake and bake in the morning, have some with some lunch, and then, you know.
She just plans on being high all the time. But like,
that's what I do.
I'm calmer.
She's like, I don't yell as much.
I don't.
Anyways, like my thought process is like a pound of weed we could do for like $1,000 at that point. Okay, to sell a pound of weed, it turns out to be like $5,000 in PA, just because of how high costs are compared to a lot of places. So like that's a fuck of a deal. You're getting it for 20% of what it's worth at that point. Plus, that would give us enough money to be able to pay for like our supplies. Like, you know what I mean? Believe it or not, there's actually a lot of supplies with growing weed. It's crazy.
Oh,
After you initially buy your tents and your lights and your buckets and all that bullshit, you still have to buy like zip ties. You have to buy plant food. You have to buy nutrients. I mean, soil. You have to buy soil. You have to buy seeds. Yeah.
I'm not even going to be able to look at them.
Like, seeds aren't super expensive, honestly. You could buy 10 seeds for like $40-$50.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're getting them from. This could be something. They could do the advice tonight right now. With buying seeds. buying seeds, there's a lot of reputable people. I'm not sure why you're doing that, but oh, okay. There's a lot of reputable people that sell seeds, and like most of them are in the UK because it's not really legal in most of the United States yet.
Right.
So most of them in the UK or Canada. And what I'm finding is generally there's one, I can't remember what they're called right now because I'm fucking high. Anyways, you buy 2 sets, you get 1 free. That's just how they are. And they guarantee they're all feminized. And they're not auto grows. So they're just, it's just, the other thing, they're either going to be auto grows or feminized. That's just how that works.
Okay.
So they're all feminized. That's all they sell that I know of. And they guarantee they're all females. And they guarantee that whatever their normal thing are, that they're what they're supposed to be. They guarantee the plant is the proper plant. Now, there's a lot of them that I've heard of them being like a couple of seeds aren't correct and different shit like that. And it's a common thing for a lot of places.
Right. But, I mean, you get
so
a seed.
Do your research. That's what I recommend. Like, do your research. Read up on what people say about them. Or, like, I'm on a couple of different grower things on Facebook. There's 60,000 people on these. And they're all talking about, I use Fox Farms soil. That's a big one that I hear about all the time. It's called Fox Farms. I have not looked into it yet because I'm not growing yet. But like lights, like do your fucking research. If you're going to grow weed, do your fucking research. That's all I got to say. Like look into your companies before you buy shit. Anyways, but what I was getting at is we was talking about weed and yeah, I don't know. We was talking about weed and growing.
Seeds, know your fucking shit.
And grow. Well, we were talking about growing initially. But
because sometimes seeds are wrong.
Right. It's just one of those things that, fuck. What were we talking about initially?
That was forever ago.
I think you guys are starting to get pretty baked. I'm doing all right. I'm not super baked yet, but I just forgot what we were talking about. Berg. But like I said, when it comes to growing weed, you want to do your research before you do it. You really do. I've been doing a lot of research, and I still have a lot to go. I'll probably start off by buying Fox Farms. There's so many fucking people that I see that say, when do you use your nutrients? And everyone's like, I use, Fox Farms this week, and then I put it in this. When I switch plant or pots at this day, then I use it then. And I'm like, okay. So I log all that shit in my brain. But these people have been growing for years. I never have.
That's a good thing about the internet. You can get a lot of knowledge faster from the source that you need.
You just have to not be butthurt about everything.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, because people are fucking dicks and all them things. Like, we're on snake ones, and people are fucking dicks. I mean, there's a lot of people that are nice about shit, and then there's a lot of people that are fucking dicks. Like, there was a post today. I'm not fucking kidding you. This is going to blow your mind, okay? I know you don't know shit about snakes, but... Okay, so this girl says, my friend just got the snake, and it's supposed to be poisonous, and I think it's a copperhead. What do you guys think? Oh, venomous, I'm sorry. God forbid.
It's like machine and gun for you.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so anyways, I think it's venomous. I think it's copperhead. What do you guys think? It's a gaboon viper. The viper with the biggest teeth that has the fastest strike of any animal in the world.
God.
And its venom will kill you in under an hour. And this is their first snake they're getting. And all these people are like, you're dead, cuz. Just let you know.
They're like, shut the fucking door. You don't know
the door's
what that
open on this thing. They took a picture of it with the fucking door open. Now, granted, they're known for having a nice demeanor, usually.
They actually usually have a pretty nice temperament.
But if you get bit by this fucking thing, and you don't have the anti-venom, you're dead in under an hour.
And if they can't get it at the hospital you go to...
You're literally fucking dead.
Oh my God.
The venom goes directly to your heart and attacks your heart. That's how it works.
Oof.
And these people have it, and I'm like... There's 100 comments, some of them were like, it's a gaboon viper. I'm like, okay, let me give you a fun fact sheet for you. And I was like... It's the fastest striking animal in the whole animal kingdom. Fastest strike. It's funny because it's a pudgy little fat fucker.
No, I don't think it's the animal kingdom. It's just reptile. I believe it's just snakes and reptiles. I'm pretty sure it's not the entire animal kingdom.
I was pretty sure it was.
I could be wrong. But I don't know.
I can't tell you, though, that they have the fastest strike of any snake. That's a fact for a fact. They have the longest fangs of any viper. They have one of the worst venoms there is. It directly attacks your heart. It tears your tissue up in your heart, and it just makes your heart quit. Yeah, in under an hour, if you get a decent bite. Like, this is, like, it's not to fuck with.
And there's a good chance that where you got bit, because it's also necrotic, you're going to lose where you got bit.
Nice.
The tissues around it, that kind of,
Yeah.
That's
You
just,
get bit in your hand, you're probably going to lose your hand, or at least part of your hand.
It's a no-no. It's a no-no. But it is one of the first venomous snakes that people would recommend you get. If you're going to, like, to start, because they have a very easy demeanor. They don't really care about much.
If you don't piss them off, they're not going to do anything.
As long as you don't piss with them too much, they don't care. They're fine with you.
If you keep their enclosure, like, low, like when you stack them, if you keep it low, and you open their door and you literally guide them out with a hook and let them crawl around to show people instead of, like, holding them or showing them with hooks like you would a lot of things, they're fine.
They look like a worm when they walk.
They do.
Because they actually
can go
move
in a
their
straight
ribs.
Line.
Yeah, they move
ribs.
their ribs. Weird.
They have modified, wider, stronger ribs, and they're extra fragile, but they're stronger. It's weird, and they walk, they can crawl in a straight line.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's
it looks like a huge caterpillar, a huge deadly caterpillar. But
yeah, they're super,
like big deadly caterpillar. They get like this wide. But anyways, yeah, they're supposed to be super mellow. So that's the reason why they say one of the first venomous snakes that they would recommend you get is...
you just need to have your ducks in a line before you have something like that. You know what I mean?
Don't let that be your first snake you would ever own, though.
No.
Right. I would never own one. I don't want to risk my wife's life because my wife is not nearly as careful as I would like her to be sometimes. Okay? She's really not. And it's just...
How am I not careful?
How many times you been bitten now, woman?
By baby non-venomous.
Okay, how many times?
I don't know, like 6.
Okay, Mamala.
In like 2 months. In like 2 months.
Yeah. By baby non-venomous snakes. You really think that if it was a venomous snake, I'm just going to fucking reach in there all willy-nilly?
No. This is Patrick.
I think you would.
I could
see it. You're like,
she'd get
they don't have
comfortable.
teeth yet. They don't have teeth yet.
They have teeth. But
they won't break my skin yet. They won't break my skin yet.
Like, she would get complacent. That's the problem. She would get complacent and then get a little more risky with things. And
then, get the anti-venom out of the freezer.
You're not lying. And then, fucking rush her to the hospital. But anyways, Facebook is a great thing for that. I'm just saying. That's what we were talking about initially. That's how we got onto snakes. But it's a great thing. It really is on getting information. Like Mal has a whole bunch of fact sheets that she got today, doing some research on animals that we're planning on getting within the next few years. Just so we can start learning. So that way we can start planning shit. Yeah. But I learned a shitload about weed off of it. About what shit shouldn't look like, what it should look like, different stuff like that. Hop on Facebook, do a little bit of research and a little bit of reading. And it's just shit that you see.
Like from people who are doing it themselves.
Like the other day I found out like when a snake's in shed, they rub on things to get it off. Sometimes they rub so hard that they actually kill the pigment in their scales that are coming in. So they'll actually have a white spot that they normally wouldn't have. And then when those shed off, then it goes back to normal. Because the next set of scales have their pigment correctly.
Weird.
But people get worried about it because they look weird. And it's just the fact that they've just rubbed on something hard. Or
it's kind of like a snake bruise.
Weird.
They just last a couple of months. Because it's usually 2 to 5 months per shed, depending on how old they get. They can shed up to once a month when they're really young. But generally, they only shed once every 2 to 5 months.
Yeah.
And once they get over a couple of years, then it's closer to 4 or 5 months at a time.
Yeah. Because their growth slows down once they get bigger.
And then they just quit growing more or less. Just barely tiny bits.
Yeah.
At max.
A little bit. Once they reach about max size, they really don't grow a whole lot.
Their skin just gets old and just replaces itself at that point. But that's the reason why it's like 4 or 5 months. You guys ready for it?
The word of the night.
We haven't done it yet, and we're almost to the end.
Right.
We just had a conversation this time. Like a big conversation. And fuck, my phone got out of it because I wasn't right directly in it. Okay. So, what is breadcrumbing?
Breadcrumbing?
Breadcrumbing.
I feel it is leaving a trail of ideas that gives somebody that leads to a...
Okay.
I think it's more like when you're going somewhere with somebody you don't know, you kind of leave little, hey, I'm going to be here with this person, or hey, this is where we're going next. And that way that at least somebody knows where you're at.
Just to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are both really good guesses. They really are. Neither one of them are close to right. But they're both good guesses and something logical. I mean, they are. They're both logical thoughts. Okay, so breadcrumbing. This is, as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was. Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Yep. I knew exactly what it was because I'm not going to lie. I've done this before.
Great.
Shamefully. A long fucking time ago. Like long time ago. Okay. So it's when the crush has no intentions of taking things further, but they like the attention. So they flirt here or there, send DMs, text messages, just to keep a person interested, knowing damn well that they really don't plan on getting with them. And then it says, Danielle was so flirty the other night. Oh, yeah, he messaged me 3 times. It says Danielle, though. That's wrong. Anyways, he messaged me 3 times just to say hello. I think he's coming around. No, Susan, he's breadcrumbing you just to keep you nibbling at his heels.
Oh, so they're just keeping him on a line.
Yep.
It's exactly what breadcrumbing is.
I gotcha.
And, like, I've not directly done it, like, because I like the attention or anything like that. I just had my own intentions of why I did it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Long time ago. Like Longfellow deeds. I figured I'd let you try and then I'd get it.
A for effort, F for execution.
So you end up with a C. Good job.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
C
I'm
minus.
just turning my ring and making sure my ring moves. I'm not picking at it. And I was getting the crusties off my ring.
Uh-huh. I don't pick at it.
No, I wasn't. There was grossness stuck to the ring.
Likely.
It's angry.
Huh?
It's angry.
I thought you said I'm angry. I'm like, oh, what are you angry about now?
Shut the fuck up.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
I smell some fucking scum. I'm like,
Have
oh.
I been that crazy?
You were earlier, I ain't gonna lie. It's alright. That's alright. Earlier she was slacking like a mofo, so, you know. It's just an all-around great day for her.
Dude.
Fucking 4:30 comes around, I'm like, what are you feeding the kids for dinner? Lips and assholes. I'm like, God damn it.
And
So I ate
McDonald's
at the store.
fries
I ate at the store.
and grapes. That was our dinner tonight.
She didn't lay anything out.
I forgot.
What'd you say that was smoking right now?
Tahoe.
So you got the rest of the Tahoe? I gotcha. Was it that same night that I did?
No.
No.
I bought it today.
He had it all the way to today?
I think so.
You only had fucking maybe half an ounce. Not even a half an ounce. Not even, like, probably 5 grams worth. When I got done buying it, because I bought most of the bag. Motherfucker. But, like, yeah, no.
It
Wow.
might not have been the same batch.
It might not have.
I doubt it was the same batch, though.
I don't know. They go through quite a bit. So, I mean, they buy quite a bit, too, though. So, I mean, it could be the same batch. Same batch from his guy, but different batch of his.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, I'm so glad. Jesus. He's like the fucking 4-year-old. Shits his pants and starts laughing.
Dude, our 4-year-old shits his pants, and then he comes over, turns around, points to his butt, and he goes, I fart!
Or he goes, I poop! Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And we're like, what do you say? And he goes, excuse me. I'm like, that's better.
Dude, he's insane. He's saying all kinds of random shit now.
Oh my god.
Today I coughed while I was like laying down for a nap because I was up all fucking night last night. I coughed and he goes, oh fuck, I forgot what I was saying.
I was gonna say, did he say, oh fuck?
No.
What did the other boy, there we go.
So he said, bless you, Dad. And I was like, since when does he say bless you? I'm like, when the fuck that start happening? And then the boy's like a couple of weeks ago, he tells it to Mom all the time. I'm like, oh, okay.
He does.
I was like, it's the first time he's ever fucking said it when I was around. Yeah, he's saying all kinds of random shit now. I'm like, sweet. Now, our son is extremely smart. He just doesn't like to talk.
We had him evaluated. He's in speech therapy, and they said it's literally just he's lazy. He doesn't want to speak.
He's been in speech therapy almost the whole year already.
Yeah.
And then now the baby's in it. She's a little behind, not super far. She does more of her, like, jabbering in a different language. Baby language. And
gibberish.
Like, I guess that's normal. It's just, like, they want to talk to you, they just don't know what to say. I guess.
The other boy tries really hard sometimes. You can see him. He's focusing really hard on trying to form the words he wants to say when it's something new. The other day, they spent some time with my mother-in-law, or Grammy, and he put him to bed that night. He tried so hard. He goes, thanks for Grammy. I'm like, oh, you had fun today.
Oh, they love going to my mom's.
Oh my god. He was really mad when that's not where we were going today, by the way.
Oh.
When he found out we were going to see his
Miss
speech
Nicole.
therapist, yeah. And not Grammy, he was pretty pissed.
That sucks. He loves going to Miss Nicole's, but I get it. It's not his Grammy's house.
Right.
The other boy and Grammy are like extra close because they spent quite a bit of time together when I was working at Pizza Hut. They spent a lot of time together. So.
Not to mention, like, I don't know. It's just one of those things, like.
That was her first grandbaby she got to hold, like, as
right.
a baby.
Like, from birth.
Yeah, the boy is still her grandchild, but she hasn't got to be there from birth. This was her first one that she got to be there for the pregnancy, to see the baby, you know what I mean, through the whole thing.
And then, of course, he looks and acts just like I did.
Oh my god, he's a holy terror.
So, like, he's just, like, watching me grow up again to my mom. So, like, I get it.
Right.
They're super, super close, and she loves all of them so much.
Oh.
And she's so good to
all three of them.
But, like, you can tell that he's, like, that's his Grammy. Like, the boy is more attached to my mom.
And then the other boy is, like, his Grammy is the best.
Yeah.
It's his Grammy.
And then, of course, the baby is Paul.
Which is Grammy's boyfriend's brother.
Yep. She loves the fuck out of him. She asked me the other day again, where's Paul? I'm like, I don't know where Paul is.
No, yeah, we'll see.
Paul's been to our house like 3 times. Ever. And she always asks, where's Paul?
Gonzo.
Yeah, it's got dead guys. Like, come on.
I just got a nice hit off of it. I don't know what you're talking about. Just because you're a chicken shit.
It is solid ash. It's white ash.
You can't even say it's resin there, woman, because there ain't even no fucking resin in that pipe, barely.
There sure is inside that bowl.
Barely.
Thank you. He was like, quit fighting, children.
Have one, shut up. Alright.
It's empty.
That was our last pipe.
That was the last gummy ring.
And that's the end of our show. Alright, so if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube and whatever you're on, Spotify. Yeah.
Wherever the hell you are.
We don't
Just
know.
because...
Yeah.
as much as we could get out there, the better it is for us, you know. And I mean, obviously, it shows that you guys like it, and we appreciate seeing that you guys like it. So
Yes,
we would
it makes
just
us
love
smile. It really does.
Yeah,
love to see that
love
sub.
Seeing everything, you know, we're gonna get everything here rolling here soon.
So on that set, I also want to say that we have our episode comes out every Friday night. Usually, hopefully, we like to get out about 4:20. Depending on work schedules, it doesn't always work out that way.
But we try.
But so you can hear the Ganja People every Friday night after 4:30-ish, somewhere in the afternoon, evening time.
Yep.
Every single week.
All right.
On that note, we're just going to say we're out. So just remember, don't let your meatloaf.
Keep it creative.
Keep it dank, Ganja Gang.
Toodaloo, motherfuckers.